What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm actually going to be showing you guys how to restore these headlights. And it's actually very simple, so let's get right into it. So I'm going to show you guys how to take them from this state right here over to this. Oh man, parking it here. A lot of birds have pooped on it. Oh, there's the RX-8. I was wondering where it was. So first things first, we need to actually move the Audi out of the garage because it's been sitting there for like 2 months just taking up space. And we need to free up some space so we can actually get started on the engine work, so we have some room to move around and stuff, and to be able to get another car in and out if we need to. So before we even do that, we need to move this BMW out of here so we can get the Audi right in here in the corner. This RX-8 is going to be stuck for a while. Man, check this out. It's been sitting here for like a month, and it still cranks right up every time. Now that all the cars are out of the way, it's time to get this Audi out of the garage. Alright, so the car's out of gear, everything's good to go. We should be able to push it right out of here. And you can't forget all score. So you obviously don't want your headlights to look like this, because first of all, they don't look good. They make the car look like it's been neglected and not taken care of. And it's actually a very easy solution. It takes about 20-30 minutes to get it all looking perfect again. And it's very simple, so let's just get right into it. So you only really need a few things to be able to get this done. What you'll need is a pair of gloves to keep your hands clean, 1000 grit sandpaper, and some compound polish, which you use on paint, and a buffing machine, which you don't really need. You could actually just use the microfiber pads that you get with polish and stuff. But I'm going to be using this one just to make things a little bit easier, and a little bit of water for wet sanding. I don't actually have a hose, so I have some water in here, and that's all we're really gonna need. So let's put on the gloves. First things first. It's not a necessary step, but it doesn't hurt. We've got a bunch of nice cars around today, actually, in our driveway and in our neighbor's driveway. Who knows, maybe we'll get to know them soon and we'll show you guys the cars. So before you do anything sanding related or cleaning or polishing, you always want to make sure that you get all the dirt off. So give it a quick wash, make sure you get all that dirt off. But the reason why you want to clean the headlights first before you start wet sanding is because if there's any dirt or dust or debris or anything on the headlights before you start sanding, you're going to introduce a lot of new scratches into the plastic of the headlights, and you really don't want to do that because it's going to be a lot harder to get these off. To avoid that completely, just wash them, make sure they're clean and dirt free, and then get started. And voila, you're done. It's looking shiny again. Now that you've wetted the headlights and got them all cleaned, it's time to get started on the wet sand. You always want to use some really fine grit because you don't want to leave any deeper scratches into the plastic itself. And I think 1000 is a good place to start. So whenever you're doing this, you want to make sure you're working in the shade, because if you work in the sun is going to dry up the water really quickly. And if you have any polish or product on there, it's also going to dry very quickly. Wanted the lighting to be good, but if I was doing it by myself, I would have done it in the shade for sure. You can already see what's coming off of it. Pretty nasty. That's all the oxidation that's coming off, and that's very good. That's exactly what you want. You want to keep sanding until it's very smooth to the touch, and all the haze that's on there is just from the sanding you're doing, not from the oxidation. So I wanted to save my new polishing pads because I want to save them for the paint, so I got an older one that I had just laying around. I'm just going to give it a quick wash with some water, and that should be good to go. We'll put some compound on it, and we'll just get right into it. The quickest way to dry it up is just put on high speed, just start it. And you're good, all dry, and it is pretty clean. This is also some old compound that I have laying around, and this actually has a hole in the side of it right here, so I'm just gonna wipe it down and get it all over there. always want to start off at a lower speed first. If you're using a polisher, you always want to make sure to avoid the paint, because if you stay on there for too long, you burn the paint right off. I should have probably masked around the headlights, but I've done this before and I was very careful when I was using the polisher. But you might as well just mask right around the headlights to save yourself the trouble. This might not necessarily be a permanent solution, but it's a very easy, cheap, and quick way to get your headlights shiny and clear again. It will literally take you 15 minutes for each headlight, and it will last you a really long time. We've done this on the E500, and a year later, they're still super shiny and clear. The reason why I'm not using clear coat on this and I'm just polishing it after I sanded it down is because I'm not going to have this car for too long, and also I don't really necessarily like putting clear coat over the headlights, because a lot of times you're going to see a lot of orange peel, and over time the clear coat will start to chip and flake off, and a lot of different types of clear coats will start to yellow over time as well. And I find that this process right here actually lasts a long time anyway, but I will be trying a few different methods later on, and I will make another video to see if the clear coat is actually a good idea or not. Now that you've done the first pass, you want to give it a quick wipe down again and just see how it looks. Get your microfiber towel. As you can already tell, it's already looking so much better. A few more passes will be really, really good on this car, so let's keep going. Put the speed up a little bit this time. Maybe use less polish next time. So the pieces you can't really reach, you can even use that shop towel to polish it. Just get in there with your hand, circular motions. It's gonna take a little bit of elbow grease, but it's gonna do the job just fine. And it even feels really, really smooth too. So when you start doing it by hand, you can even switch over from the compound to a polishing compound instead, because it's going to give you that smoother, shinier finish. If you only have that, it's fine, it's going to still do the job. But if you also have the polishing compound, use that after you compound it. That way it takes off all the finer scratches, and it's just going to give you a much smoother, cleaner finish. And it's basically done. I'm going to give it a few more passes, but that's just the gist of it. Do it a couple times and you should be good. Like I said, just make sure you don't come near the edges. And that's the polishing compound I'm using here. It's by XPC3, and this stuff is actually really good. So let's get a little bit of that on here, and we'll give it a nice little polish. I know I didn't mention the polishing compound in the beginning of the video when I showed you guys the products we'll be using, but after I used the cutting compound, I noticed that if I polished it, it would look a lot shinier, and it will take care of all the micro scratches that the cutting compound introduced to the plastic, and it will just give it a much nicer finish overall. So do yourself a favor and just buy polishing compound as well, because it will transform the headlights completely. And you also always want to make sure that there's enough compound on there, so you're not just rubbing the dry paper towel on the dry plastic, because that will cause tiny swirl marks that you don't want. And that's it. 20 minutes later, and the headlights are shiny again, they're clear, and they're no longer hazy. Now, this one was a lot worse than the other one, and I'll show you guys the comparison. You can see how much clearer that one is. So without boring you guys with the same thing twice, I'm just gonna fast forward me doing this.
And I've been chilling, watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chilling, kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding.
And voila, just like that, you restore your headlights.
And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep.
So after filming this video, there's a few tips that I want to give you guys before you attempt to do this. Don't work in the sun, because the sun will dry up the water really quickly and will dry up the compound very quick, and that's not something you want, especially when you're polishing and heating up the surfaces already with the polishing machine. So one thing, work in the shade. Make sure you do that, because otherwise you're just going to make things harder on yourself. Second thing, make sure the surface you're working with is very clean. And third thing, don't start the polishing unless you are done sanding. How to know you're done sanding? Just make sure that the surface is very smooth. It needs to look very hazy from all the scratches from the sandpaper before you start polishing. But once it's smooth to the touch and it looks hazy enough, you can start polishing, and that's when you're going to really see all... It's a little dark in here. But that's when you're going to start to notice all the improvements, is once you're done the sanding properly. Because I'll show you here. I don't know if you guys will be able to pick it up on camera. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it on camera, but after doing this side is still a little bit more hazy than this side. This side actually looks very well. It's just a little bit smudged up and there's a bit of dust and dirt inside the headlight itself, but this one is basically perfect. However, this side though is still a little bit more hazy, so this needs a little bit more sanding, but for the most part, that's how you polish your headlights. And I actually want to do a part 2 on this episode, because the RX-8's headlights are very, very bad. I'm actually going to show you guys right now, but that thing needs work like ASAP. But yeah, that's it. That's how you polish your headlights and get them shiny and clear once again. Give them some more life, make your car look like it's been taken care of and not just left and neglected. So give it a shot. Even if you don't have a polisher, just do it with your hand. Get the microfiber pad and actually just polish it, or sand it first with your hand and then polish it, because the results will make the car look absolutely different. The fact that now you can actually see inside the lens and it's showing the colors inside, like the deep black at the inside, and like you can see all the details, it makes the car look completely different. So thank you guys for watching. If you learned something new, go down there, click the subscribe button. Don't forget to like it, because it does mean a lot to me. It does help out the channel a lot. Also, thank you guys for all the support. We're so close to hitting 5,000. I was gonna say 5,000, I wish, but we're so close to hitting 500 subscribers. So go down there. We're like 30 subs away or 35 subs away. So go down there, click the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.